Okay, so here's something to chew on. In 2026, Zara Abrams wrote about how AI might actually be reshaping human skills and thinking. Not just what we do, but how we do it. That's a big deal, right? Because it's not just about technology helping us. It's about how it's quietly changing us.
That's such an interesting way to frame it. We always talk about AI as this amazing tool that makes life easier, but we don't often stop to think about what it's doing to our habits, our thought processes, or even our creativity. It's like we're so focused on the benefits that we forget to ask about the costs.
Exactly. And it's not like this is a new phenomenon. Humans have always relied on tools to offload certain tasks: calendars for memory, calculators for math, GPS for navigation. But AI takes it to a whole new level. It's not just helping us remember or calculate, it's stepping into areas that used to require deep, active reasoning.
And that's where it gets tricky because that kind of assistance is so tempting. It's fast, it's convenient, and it works. But when we start handing over these tasks to AI repeatedly, it can become a habit. And habits, as we know, have a way of shaping who we are over time.
Right? It's like the more we rely on AI to search, organize, or even draft ideas, the less involved we become in the actual mental process. The end result might still look polished, but how much of our thinking actually went into it? That's the question.
And that's such a good point. Efficiency isn't the same as development. Just because we can complete a task quickly with AI doesn't mean we're growing our skills or our capacity for judgment, creativity, or problem solving. It's like we're trading depth for speed.
Exactly. And it's not to say that using AI automatically weakens those abilities, but if we're not careful, we could end up prioritizing speed and convenience over the kind of deep, careful thought that really helps us grow. It's a slippery slope.
I was reading about this idea in Abrams' article. She talks about how passive reliance on AI could gradually reduce our competence, especially in environments where speed is rewarded more than careful thought. It's not just about the technology, it's about the systems we build around it.
That's such a good point. If workplaces, for example, start valuing output speed above all else, it's easy to see how people might lean more heavily on AI and let their own skills atrophy. It's not just about what AI can do, it's about what we stop doing because of it.
And that's the thing about technology. It's not just about what it can do for us. It's also about what it's doing to us. The effects are often so gradual that we don't even notice them until they've already taken hold.
Like how a single use of AI isn't going to transform the way we think. But repeated patterns? That's a different story. If AI becomes our go-to for every question, draft, or decision, it could start to influence things like our patience, confidence, curiosity, or even our tolerance for mental effort.
And that's where it gets into this really interesting and kind of unsettling territory. It's not just about what the technology can produce. It's about how our continued interaction with it might shape our behavior in return.
Which brings us to this idea of thoughtful use. AI can be an incredible support for learning and creativity, but only if we stay mentally engaged. It can help us see alternatives, organize information, or even challenge our assumptions, but we have to remain responsible for the thinking.
Exactly. Using AI to extend our thought is one thing. Using it to avoid thought is something else entirely. And the same technology can support either outcome. It all depends on how we choose to use it.
That's such a good point. You know, we often describe AI as a tool, but tools aren't psychologically neutral. They shape our routines, our expectations, our behavior. So the real question isn't whether we're going to use AI. That seems like a given at this point. The question is, what habits of mind are we going to preserve while we use it?
And that's the big challenge, isn't it? Because it's so easy to get swept up in what technology can do for us that we forget to ask what it's doing to us. But if we're thoughtful about how we use it, I think there's a way to strike a balance, where AI supports us without replacing the critical skills that make us human.
It's a delicate balance, for sure. But I think it starts with awareness, just being mindful of how and why we're using these tools. Because if we're not paying attention, we might wake up one day and realize we've offloaded more than we ever intended.
Absolutely. It's about staying engaged, staying curious, and staying responsible for our own thinking. AI can be an incredible partner in that process, but only if we're willing to do the work alongside it.
Well said. So maybe the takeaway here is that technology doesn't just shape what we do, it shapes who we are. And as we continue to integrate AI into our lives, it's worth asking, who do we want to become?
That's such a powerful question, and I think it's one we'll be asking ourselves for a long time to come.